Good afternoon, everyone. I believe it's afternoon. Kind of chilly. I got my, I don't know what it's called. You can wear it outside as ear muffins, and you can wear it on your head to put your makeup on and stuff like that. But it's a little bit nippy in here. It's quite cold where I'm at. As a matter of fact, I'm watching a video right now where it snowed in Pensacola, Florida. Probably about 2 inches. So, now, what do you suppose that's about? I know they talk about climate change, um, that they've been doing that for years now, but they've also and who's doing it, I do not know, but they put chemtrails in the sky from the airplanes go up and uh, seed the sky with things that are making clouds that will cover the sun and stuff like that. And so it's getting colder in different places. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Now, if we've got global warming, don't you think it would be getting hotter out instead of colder? I mean, it's been negative digits, -9, -4, um, here where I'm at. So for Florida to get snow and to be cold, things don't add up to me. Now, I'm no scientist, but I do have a little bit of marbles in my head. And I got reasoning and learning and reading things that are going on in the world. So you tell me. I've been watching a lot of stuff this morning. I watched how the new administration is um, setting things in motion, getting the immigrants to back across the border. Um, they're working on food stamps. They're working on welfare fraud, Section 8 fraud, um, and and believe me, I do understand about a lot of things that it's been hard to live. It's been hard to eat. It's been hard to get a house that you can afford a house to rent. It's even been hard to buy for a lot of people to buy a house. And but here's the thing. Like I said, my daughter right now is dealing with. She's a case manager for people in mental health that needs help and stuff like that. Find places to live and stuff. And again, you have to qualify for all of those programs. And if you if you don't understand the concepts of what's going on in these programs, and you do something that goes against their rules and their regulations, but you don't know it, you don't know that that's what you've done, and you get put out of those programs. Well, that's basically what's happening with food stamps now and Section 8. And so they're going after the people that are committing fraud, that stay on the Section 8 for years and generational years and so forth. And but now they're letting you know that they can find that out. There's ways that they can find out through your Social Security number, and that all the digital things that they've got set up, that like you have to go apply for this or apply for that or whatever. I mean, they've got many different ways to find it. Social Security disability. they've got spies watching you to see if you're really truly disabled. Like, say, for instance, you get disabled because you can't work. And that's most generally the whole deal to begin with. But if somebody gives them some kind of inclination that this person over here is not acting like they're disabled, they've got a side job, and even if you're building a deck on the back of your house and they've got pictures of you doing that, they'll take you off disability. So I'm just putting it out there for y'all. Now, the changes that are coming, the Section 8, food stamps, they've already shut off the migrants. I don't want to say the illegal migrants that were brought into the country. New York has already shut down the food stamps for all of them, and they're protesting. So, are we going to be seeing a lot of stealing? Are people going to break into your houses and steal your food and things like that? No, I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm just telling you all these things because this is a probability that these things can happen. So stay prepared. My channel is about being prepared for anything and everything that you can possibly be prepared for, from relationships that don't go well to your pipes freezing in your house or your camper, or forest fire or a hurricane. Be prepared. So, and why I'm bringing this up right now for the new administration, like I said, which they all have the right to do that because that's what they come in there for, is to make changes to what they think is going to be better for the country. So they're going in here and they're hitting the people that are on all these Section 8s, Medicaid, Medicare. I didn't say anything about Medicare yet, but the Medicaid and the food stamps, the food stamp people, which they started this a while back, that any able-bodied people like it that can work and they're on food stamps, they got, regardless of whether you're looking for a job or not, you got to go and do community service work 20 hours a week. Now, that was already in place before the new administration came into being, but it's all going to be enforced. So, basically, what I'm saying is, okay, this new administration's come in, just like all the years before, and they placed all of these new bills in place and all these changes in place. And like the Section 8, they're talking about Section 8 to get rid of all the fraud, all the younger people that are able to get out and work and stuff like that, going to take them off. So the older people, the senior people, don't have to wait on a list forever, and they can have a decent home to live in. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, but we don't want children on the street either of these people that are and could possibly be considered that they've been frauding the government when really they didn't. And a lot of them do, but a lot of them don't too. So it's like a catch-22. So let's say they get all these changes in place, and they've got room for the seniors, or they got room for the people that they deem eligible for it and everything through this administration. And like I said, it all can be good, but it all can be bad too, because I say this. Once this administration goes out and all these changes have been made and you feel like you're sitting secure in a nice, clean home that you can afford, what happens when the next administration comes in and they want to change all that? You're right back at square one if you don't qualify for all this stuff. See, like I've been thinking about getting out of this camper and going and getting my own house. And there's various reasons for that. I mean, it's because it's hard to live in a camper in the wintertime, just like last night, yeah, all day yesterday, my water was frozen. And I didn't tell anybody about it because I didn't want to bother anybody. But when you get to thinking about it, if it stays frozen too long, then your pipes will burst, and then you've got all those repairs. So I called my daughter up last night and brought my other buddy heater down. We got both buddy heaters going in the back area where all the water pipes and stuff run into. And but then she told her husband, and then he come down with her because he figured it was being inside was not going to help it. So he brought his big heater down and blowed on it. And it took probably about half an hour, maybe a little more than that, and my pipes got unthawed. But he did find in the process that I have some shut-off valves that come into the camper, but I can't reach, and they were busted, so there's going to be a little leak there. So, but I got water, but I've had to leave the water run, both in the bathroom and here in the kitchen sink. And now here's the thing. It'll run the electricity up a little bit on their part because the well is run on an electrical water pump. Now, if I was in the city and I needed to do that, then guess what? My water bill's going to be high. Not only the water bill's going to be high, but the sewer bill's going to be high too, because whatever water that you use, they deem that as going into the sewer. So you're like getting charged twice. So if I would have to do that, then it's going to cost me extra. So whichever way you turn, I think we all think that we can be prepared for anything and everything, but that's not the case. So you again have to decide what's going to be best for you in the long term, more so than the short term. But getting back to the changes that the new administration is making, that's for 4 years. Unless some drastic thing happens that they fix it so somewhere along the line that the people that come into office, the terms are going to be longer or permanent, one of the two. So whatever this administration brings in, again, I do not support anybody. I do honor our president, our people in that you honor, because the Bible says to obey the laws of the land. They're the ones that majority put in place, and I don't have to like it, but I just honor it and don't talk bad about anybody, and don't try to destroy people with my words. So what do I do if they're doing things that I don't like, or it's not working out for me that way? You just got to trust in your higher power. You just got to trust in the Creator and you and what you can do for your life. So when people put other people in charge of their lives, that they don't. A lot of people don't really look at the long term. What could be coming after the 4 years is up, or 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, however long. And all those things might look good, and they might look good on paper. I'm sure they do, and it's not going to work for everybody. But again, you got to prepare in case the new administration comes in and decides to change it all in another direction. The only thing that I can say to that is, and I say that to myself too, right now I have a home. It's a camper. I could make it better with putting some money in and work into it. So do I want to take my money and that I'm saving up and stuff and have a professional come in without having to bother my family and fix it up to suit me as like it would be a little house? I've got a place to sit in my camper. I've got water. I've got electricity and stuff. And right now, I mean, I'm not the warmest right now because it's cold out. But I'm not gonna freeze. So, but they've also got some more property. I mean, it's bigger. I mean, it's like 6 acres here. I could go ahead and try to set myself up off grid further on down and try to take as much burden off of them as I can, being on flatter ground down there. If I wanted electricity, or just put my money into uh, more like solar and solar generator and stuff like that, and try to run my camper off of things like that. Now, as far as lights and stuff go, it's set up that I can run my lights at a certain amount of electrical um, cooking and stuff like that on battery operated section of my electrical system. So I've got to think long term and not even think, especially right now, not even think about getting in Section 8 or low income or anything like that, because like I said, it might all look good once they've got everything in place. But when the next administration comes in, that could all change in a matter of weeks, just like all the things that are changing now. Now, the immigrants, they really, truly thought that they had it made because they were in the land of the free, and that things were going to be good, even though a lot of them were living on the streets, but they had food stamps, and they had a card, and they had medical. They had money card. But see, that all turned on them. Now there they are. A lot of them are on the border right now because Trump closed the walls. Now here's the thing. I know that they shouldn't have come over here illegally. And I know they should not have been allowed to come in illegally. But they did, and they've got children, and they're people too. So there they are. And it's cold in Florida. I mean, it's freezing now. So I'm sitting there watching the storm chasers going down the road with snow all over the road. 2 to 3 inches of snow. I don't know what it's like down at the border. I know there's been a lot of crime and stuff like that, and all those little kids that didn't ask for um, that to happen to them are down there and among all of that. So when does it end? When does all the chaos and all the stupidity end? I I don't care who's in office because they're all stupid. They all do stupid things. They I remember a time when I worked at Kmart, and they had the big longer conveyor belts where you could put your groceries up there and everything that you bought. And somebody in up the high office got this bright idea, and I got it all down, wrote it down on paper, and they made the counters real short. You didn't have no place to sit your groceries. You didn't have no place to sit all your items that you. And half of it's still in the buggy while you're trying to put it up there, and then they're trying to get it rung through. It didn't work. It did not work. So these people that are up here in these high offices get these bright ideas, and they go by percentages, and they go by this, and they go by that. Well, let's see. If we do this and we do that, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it looks good. Bull crap. It don't work until you try it first. And then it don't always work because you've got 8 billion people, a little over 8 billion people on this planet that all think different. And I know you can't satisfy everybody. I understand that. But again, you gotta be aware of what's going on around you. You gotta know what they're trying to set in place now and what they tried to in the last administration, which a lot of it didn't work out. I mean, they put all these laws in place and all these statutes in place, and guess what? The new administration is undoing it all. See, as far as I'm concerned, that's what I see the problem is when they have somebody coming in new all the time instead of just one. Not a dictatorship, but one unit of democracy, not two, not three. The United States have the independents, they have the Republicans, and they have the Democrats. That's three. I think one that was going to do the job under the direction of the Creator. That's just my opinion. Y'all are welcome to your opinion, but be nice about it. Don't. But I'm just saying, all of us people are the older people, even some of the younger people. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you do decide to go to Section 8, low income housing, have a plan in place in case something like this happens, that they come in and they change everything again. But to me, I would rather have the plan already set in place so where I did not feel I had to go into a Section 8 or low income or have to have food stamps. As you all know, I got off of food stamps and I got off of the supplemental security through the state that helps me with my insurance premium. I'm just saying, be prepared because everything can change in a heartbeat. And I'll guarantee you that the people in Florida, Pensacola, Florida, did not even suspect for a minute that it was good. They were going to wake up to snow. So, merry heart doeth good like medicine, and a broken spirit will dry up your bones. And if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. But if you find yourself in a, a situation that you just can't learn what a river does. Do research on how a river gets around optics. I can't say it, obstacles. Be like a river. Do your research. Know your business. Know what's going on in your finances. Know what's going on in everything that pertains to you. And if you find yourself up against a roadblock, be like a river and push around it, over it, and sometimes through it. You all have a great day.